What's up, guys? Welcome to vlog number 2 in the Momlight weekly vlog series. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here. Today we're talking about a topic that I think is super important for our health and also ultra confusing. So bear with me as I try to simplify my understanding of the science and how I have interpreted it to make an informed decision about what cooking oils to use in my house for my family. There is so much conflicting evidence and perspectives and points of view and write-ups about which oil is best. Here is how I see the cooking oil landscape. Cooking oils are extremely important because we use them multiple times a day. So in terms of an ingredient that should garner our attention and really could have an impact on our health, I think cooking oils come out on top. Fat is really important. It's an important macronutrient. For a long time, many of us feared fat, thinking fat makes us fat, but overeating beyond our calorie needs makes us fat. Stress and hormonal dysregulation makes us fat. Fat doesn't necessarily make us fat. Fat is extremely important for brain function, for the integrity of our cellular membranes, for cellular signaling, for the absorption of key micronutrients and phytonutrients and polyphenols and curcumin from turmeric. So don't fear fat, but not all fat is created equal. When it comes to cooking oils, we want to think about a few things. Firstly, what I think about is inflammation. We are all probably in a more chronically inflamed state than we need to be because of gut issues, environmental toxins, weird stuff in our food supply, altered microbiomes, stress, lack of sleep, and so on. Fats actually play an important role in inflammation because the two essential fatty acids, omega-6 and omega-3, which are both essential, one of them, which is omega-6, tends to perpetuate inflammation, and the other, which is omega-3, tends to stymie or reduce inflammation. We need both fats, but we need them in the right ratio. And unfortunately, in modern times, the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio is in the favor of omega-6. We seem to be getting a lot of omega-6 in our diet and not enough omega-3 fats. And this may be setting us up for more inflammation that is healthy. It turns out that the richest source of omega-6 fats are often processed, refined, nut and seed oils, or even unrefined nut and seed oils. So as a rule, when I'm cooking in my house, I pretty much stay away from all nut and seed oils, like canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, grapeseed oil, rapeseed oil, all of these, which one of their problems is that they tend to be higher in omega-6 fats and may push this omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in the wrong direction when it comes to inflammation. Now, that said, I'm exposed to these oils when I eat out, and you guys know I live in New York City and I love to eat out. So I'm okay with that because it's, again, the ratio that's important. The dose makes the poison. And if I'm being conscious about getting enough omega-3 fats in my diet through wild fish, which is my number one choice, if you don't eat fish, you can eat flax seeds, you can eat walnuts, combine them with turmeric for a little spice hack, which helps your body convert that plant-based omega-3 into the EPA and DHA that you need for optimal kind of omega-3 function in your cells. I do sometimes work with products that have cold-pressed canola oil or cold-pressed sunflower oil, and here's why. The second problem with these ultra-refined nut and seed oils, and the reason I avoid them, is because there is a lot of industrial grade processing that goes into converting the vegetable, the corn, the grapeseed, the rapeseed, the sunflower into oil. Again, cold pressed means cold pressed. It means it's not industrially processed. But most of the nut and seed oils on the market are industrially processed with weird toxic solvents like hexane, which really shouldn't be in our bodies. So again, for that reason also, I tend to avoid these oils. And then the third reason I avoid these oils is because many of these industrially processed, refined nut and seed oils when they are heated to high temperatures, they easily go rancid. They get converted via a process called lipid peroxidation to produce reactive oxygen species and other compounds which are damaging to our DNA, our cells, and set the stage for disease and dysfunction, aging, and what have you. If you come into my kitchen, you will see 3 cooking oils. So for high heat cooking, I like to use avocado oil. And by this I mean anything 400 Fahrenheit or higher, right? So if I'm roasting in the oven and it's 400 or higher, I will use avocado oil. If it's high heat on the gas, I will use avocado oil. Why? Avocado oil is very rich in mono unsaturated fats. It's the polyunsaturated fats that tend to go rancid and produce these lipid peroxidation byproducts. So avocado oil is actually incredibly stable at high heat. It doesn't really mess up your omega-6 to omega-3 ratio the way the other seed and nut oils do. It actually has anti-inflammatory properties, and I find it super neutral in flavor. Then you will find coconut oil, probably the most controversial thing right now. It's high in saturated fat. For a long time, people were like, this is the best thing ever. These medium chain triglycerides put you into ketosis and your body can use them as fuel rather than store them as fat. And then the cardiologists were like, no, 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 no. This is going to cause heart disease. Saturated fat is bad. And then there's maybe evidence that it messes up your gut microbiome in excess. My view on coconut oil is it's fine, don't overdo it. Use it for medium to high heat cooking when I actually want the coconut oil flavor. I use it for baking, I use it for pancakes, I sometimes pan saute like fish, panko crusted fish sticks in it. So it really depends, but I don't think it's the devil and I don't think we should be guzzling it. I do think it's great for oil pulling, which is a whole different topic. Maybe I'll do a vlog on that, which is where you swish it around your mouth and that can help oral health. But I don't think we should be drinking it by the gallon, but it's not the devil. So the third oil that I probably use most is olive oil. Again, super misunderstood. People are like, how do you cook with olive oil? So olive oil smoke point is not as low as people think. It's actually kind of in the 375, 385 Fahrenheit range. So if I'm roasting things in the oven at 375 or below, I will use olive oil. I always use extra virgin olive oil, not refined olive oil. It turns out that even at high heat, olive oil does not form those lipid peroxidation negative byproducts because of certain polyphenols and antioxidants present within extra virgin olive oil. So if you happen to use it at high heat, it's not the end of the world. You always want that unrefined, that virgin unrefined oil that kind of catches your throat a little bit. Speaking of catching my throat, because that compound that is catching your throat is a compound called oleocanthal, which is a potent anti-inflammatory compound. So for medium to low heat, olive oil, high heat, sometimes, don't panic, and definitely on salads and kind of on everything else where I just want a drizzle of oil. Olive oil is my go-to, always extra virgin. And then finally, I will say ghee. Good old clarified butter. Super stable at high heat, saturated fat, yes, but if you get grass-fed, pasture-raised ghee, like the ancestors did, it actually has some really wonderful nutrients, including a molecule called butyrate, which then help our intestinal lining and help health in general and inflammation. So cooking in ghee is also a great option. Just choose a good organic grass-fed clarified butter or ghee. So those are the oils that I like to use for the reasons that I mentioned. If it seems complicated, the subject is complicated. There are a lot of different opinions. This is my stance on the science after having looked at it in a very unbiased way and looked at lots of data, not just on test tube data or animal data, but really the full picture. And I think this is what I've chosen for my family. I think it's serving us well, and I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have questions about oils that I didn't mention, just know that I don't use them because I've talked about the oils that I do use. I will say that on occasion I will use sesame oil to finish a stir fry or even on salads, but I don't like to cook with it. I find it goes rancid very quickly. And so do a lot of the other oils like flax and walnut, just good to use kind of as a finishing oil. I think we covered everything important. I hope that was helpful. And I will see you in next week's vlog. Also, if you have ideas for vlog topics that you would like me to cover that will be useful for you, send them my way either via direct message on Instagram or hit reply. And I will see you next time.